Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're an allied health pro, an educator, a support worker, or even a family member, you already know the landscape of behavior support is shifting. And honestly, it's about time. Today, we're diving into the GROW Neuroaffirming Behavior Framework. It's essentially a roadmap to help us completely ditch that outdated compliance-heavy model and move toward genuine safety-based connection. Let's get right into it.
So, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the compliance problem, then the GROW framework shift. After that, we'll break down the 4 core pillars. And finally, we'll cover the certification pathway.
All right, part 1, the compliance problem, and why it's such a flawed system.
For way too long, behavioral support has been completely anchored in compliance. You know the drill. The goal was usually just reducing, controlling, or completely stopping a behavior, without ever actually pausing to ask why it was happening in the first place, or, what the person was desperately trying to communicate. And the human cost here, it's just staggering. We're talking deep masking, intense burnout, trauma, and a whole lot of shame. It basically sets up this harmful expectation that neurodivergent folks can, and somehow should, be forced into environments that literally weren't built for them.
Now, if you work in this space, you know something's off, right? The industry keeps saying, hey, be neural-affirming or reduce masking. But then, they leave you hanging without any practical tools to actually do it. That's where GROW steps in. It completely flips the script on the fundamental question of behavior support. So instead of asking the old question, how do we reduce this behavior, we start asking, wait, what is this person communicating, and how can we genuinely support their well-being? It's a massive shift from power over to power with.
Which brings us to section 2, the GROW framework shift, a truly values-led approach.
And here is the absolute core of it all. Behavior is communication, period. It's not just a problem to manage or extinguish. GROW gives you the actual conceptual scaffolding to interpret what neurodivergent individuals are telling you through their actions. So instead of a reactive, fear-based approach, you get to respond based on safety, deep understanding, and real connection. Okay, let's unpack section 3, the 4 core pillars of the GROW framework. Starting off with the letter G, we have grounded in identity. Under this first pillar, the absolute priority is honoring a person's neurodivergent identity. It's not a deficit. It's definitely not something to be pathologized. It's valid, it's fundamental, and it is 100% worthy of affirmation. And a really key takeaway here is recognizing that a lot of behaviors actually serve incredibly important protective functions for that individual's identity. Moving right along to R, which stands for responsive to needs. This one is brilliant because it reminds us to look beneath the surface. When we do, we see that all behavior stems from unmet needs, whether those are physical, sensory, emotional, or relational. By figuring out what's actually missing or causing distress, we can jump in proactively, rather than just playing whack-a-mole with the outward behavior. Then we have O, open to communication. Look, we all know communication is way more than just spoken words. GRO pushes us to embrace the entire spectrum of how neurodivergent folks express themselves. We're talking movement, AAC, scripting, gestures, and yes, the behavior itself. We literally have to build environments where absolutely all forms of expression are welcomed with open arms. And finally, the W, whole person, whole system lens. This is your reminder that behavior never just happens in a vacuum, right? It happens within a context. If we want real lasting change, we have to adapt the environments, the families, the schools, the systems, not try to reshape the person to fit a space that wasn't designed for them. It's about looking at the big picture, nervous systems, trauma, sensory processing, the whole shebang. I really want to pause on this quote for a second because it perfectly captures the lived experience of putting these 4 pillars into action. A parent said, "The GROW framework helped us stop focusing on punishment. We see him, not just what he does. Our home is calmer, our connection is stronger." I mean, wow. When you stop obsessing over punishment and actually see the human being behind the action, the whole dynamic shifts. It's beautiful. All right, on to our final section, part 4, the certification pathway. 1 pathway, 3 steps. So GROW is actually Australia's very first certifiable pathway for neuroaffirming behavior support, which is pretty amazing. It's broken down into 3 steps, depending on where you're at in your journey. Step 1 is GROW Foundations. That's a self-paced entry point to help you totally reframe how you view behavior. Step 2 is Level 1 certification. This is a cohort-based program where you turn theory into actual clinical capability, and you even get listed on a public directory. And finally, step 3 is level 2 advanced. That one's application-based, strictly for experienced practitioners who are ready to lead teams and tackle really complex cases. By jumping onto this pathway, you get what they call the 6 C's. You get clarity on the why behind the behavior, credibility from aligning with a top-tier framework, capacity to actually reduce your own burnout by working sustainably, confidence to use these tools from day one, connection with an awesome national network of like-minded bros, and of course, the actual certification. But ultimately, becoming GROW certified, it's so much more than just slapping a new credential on your professional profile. It's about joining a movement. You're stepping into a community that genuinely believes neurodivergent individuals deserve support that starts with who they inherently are. It's a commitment to the idea that our environments should absolutely flex to accommodate people, not the other way around. So I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on regarding your own practice. Are you ready to change how you connect? If you're tired of the harms of the compliance model and you're ready for genuine, safety-based connection, your entry point is right here. Think about starting your GROW Foundations journey today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep learning.